If you're anything like me, you've sunk dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of hours into Slay the Spire. If you're also like me, you've got Steam libraries and game shelves filled with some really high quality games that are just waiting for a chance to wow you with their 4K graphics, incredible stories, and hours of playability and progression. But even after getting all the achievements and beating the heart at A20, I keep coming back day after day to Slay the Spire, to listen to my favorite streamers while I'm at work, play more runs for all of you wonderful folk that stop by to leave in the comments. Seriously, you guys are great. And I make guides that, according to this guy, are the best Slay the Spire guides on YouTube. But why? I got into the Spire scene later than a lot of folks. It was 2020, the world was on fire, and I just missed playing Magic the Gathering with my friends. My good friend the Slug over here told me about a little digital card game he called Slay the Spire, and he recommended it. I was managing a GameStop at the time, and since we had to leave our doors locked and only fill online orders, I had a lot of time to look through our game selections. There, sitting all alone in the clearance section, was a single copy of Slay the Spire for PS4 marked down to less than $10. I finished my daily tasks with hours left in my shift, purchased the game, and I was immediately hooked. Gone were the hours needed to spend researching the ever-evolving meta game of Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone, and you only ever have to buy this game once. But really, how many of you stopped there? Every run presents you with new and exciting challenges to build the best deck, and no matter how fat your wallet is, you can't just buy the best card and relic combos every run unless you have streamer luck. And most every card has a viable build. So even if I don't want to play 3 out of the 4 characters, I still have a huge amount of cards to play with, random enemy encounters, challenging elites, and boss fights that I have a limited amount of time and resources to carefully prepare for if I don't want a quick boot all the way back to the snarky whale, reminding me that I've once again returned. Even when I hate the game and I can't imagine starting another run myself, the game has fostered so many positive communities. If you're working a boring desk job and can't wait for your next Spire fix, there are so many great streams you can play as background podcast noise to absorb even more strategy, history, puns, jokes, and Q&A sessions to hold you over. Just take a look at how many people post daily on the Spire subreddit. How many thousands of videos have been posted to YouTube under the Slay the Spire tag. Now, 6 years after the initial release, we have streamers like Zeknar who are still finding ways to push the limit of this game, challenging the ongoing 20 rotating win streak. He just lost the other day at 19 wins, but he's already back at it pushing again. What makes this even better? The entire community, even the current record holder, is encouraging and supporting this achievement. So, what makes this game great? On the surface, this game is a fun, light-hearted deck builder with a rich variety of characters, cards, relics, and enemies to keep it fresh and entertaining for a while. Dive in a little bit, and you'll soon discover a world of incredibly addicting synergies, crazy infinite deck challenges, challenging and rewarding achievements, and 20 ascension levels that make the game increasingly more difficult. Each act has 3 different bosses. These bosses can and will wreck you if you try to go full-on archetype. Everyone who plays Shivs and Infinites has been dumped on by the Time Slug. Defect power players fight the Awakened One, and minimalist players get the Falling Event and lose. If that's not enough of a challenge, collect the 3 keys throughout your run and face the hidden Act 4 gauntlet for the ultimate challenge, the Heart of the Spire. You're still not convinced? Don't go back to Call of Duty just yet. There's still more. If you somehow get tired of the vast array of gameplay available in Vanilla Spire, just take a look at the modding community. We have mods available that don't affect the base game at all. For those of us data nerds that just want to see more details and go full on math brain with our run analytics. There are mods that create entire new characters, each with their own decks. You can even add googly eyes, draw on the map, or play as the enemy bosses. There's even a mod that changes how RNG works in the game. Slay the Spire works on a seeded generation system, meaning if you dig hard enough through the details, you can find correlated events and randomness to accurately predict future enemies and events based on sequences of happenings in the game. Check out another leader in the community's video on it if you really want to dive down that rabbit hole. There's one more thing. If you're still not convinced this game will go down as a genre-defining history maker in the deck building and roguelite genres, take a look at some of this. The developers of this game intentionally allowed some game-pricking hacks to allow players to make some absolutely ludicrous combos. Corruption, one of Ironclad's greatest cards, looks terrifying at first. Why would you ever want to exhaust your cards? Don't you need those to, block? But consider this. You can grab another card that stores your block up for later turns. And if it's a longer fight, you can always play Corruption later. But what if you add Dead Branch? This relic that creates new cards every time a card is exhausted. Now all your skills are free. Any new skills you create are also free. Oh, look, there's also a card that blocks when cards are exhausted too. The developers didn't only keep the game-winning combos, there are also game-losing combos. Look at these two relics, two of the best boss relics in the game. Runic Pyramid on one hand allows you to have incredible board and deck control by no longer exhausting your hand. Keep the deck small and have some exhaust, draw, and discard synergies, and Pyramid will carry you to decisive victories. On the other hand, we have another incredibly strong relic, the Snecko Eye, which allows you to draw more cards every turn, and it randomizes the cost of cards in your hand. Put these together and you'd think having number 1 and number 2 would be excellent. You'd be dead wrong. Instead, now you have created a terrible anti-synergy. Snecko Eye's downside, the fact that it randomizes card cost, can fill a hand that no longer discards with expensive cards that you can't play. Yet even with this, the best players have made challenges to win with these crazy anti-synergies. If you've watched this far and haven't decided to play the Spire yet, what are you doing? It's available on almost every platform, has regular sales that go down to almost $10. It has a vast community that keeps the game alive and well. And oh yeah, there's a sequel coming in 2025. Get caught up with the rest of us, and hit that like and subscribe button down below when you're sending me to spread this video to more of you crazy wonderful folks. Seriously, we've made it to 1,000 subs. Thank you, you guys are awesome.